Good day, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Psychic Garage. I bought another car. Yes, I did, and I'm sure my wife is real happy. But anyways, I wanted to find a car that was old, wasn't running, but wouldn't take much to get it running. So I believe I found that car. So I'll show it to you right now. So this is a 66 Valiant, which is a Dodge Plymouth car, although it's not a Dodge and it's not a Plymouth. In Canada, it's just a Valiant. In the States, this would be a Dodge Dart. The Dodge Dart didn't come into Canada until later. But in 66, this is what we got. So I picked up this car, and it obviously needs work. It's been sitting for many years. I'm just going to jump back to the day before, which is when I bought the car. Eric came out and gave me a hand. We borrowed a friend's car hauling trailer, and we loaded it up. The tires would only hold air for 5 to 10 minutes, so we had to be careful with that. And it was a good thing the previous owner's nephew gave us a hand, because right when we loaded up the car and left, the biggest rainstorm of that summer hit us very hard. But check out the interior. Look at that seat. Even the back seat, also in good shape. There's no extreme rust issues. There's a hole in the floor right there. That's the only floor problem. And check out the mileage. We believe that's original mileage. Yeah, and it's got manual steering, manual brakes, and Eric helped me get the master cylinder out, because before we get it running, I definitely want working brakes before I drive it. So here, we'll take a look at the engine. There you can see we already took the master cylinder out. It's over on the workbench. I'm going to see if I can take it apart, clean it up, and resurrect it. The engine is complete. Nothing missing. We did notice that the heater core has been bypassed. It's not being used, so obviously we know that that leaks. But that's not a big deal. That can be changed. There is antifreeze in it, which is good. There's oil in it, but I'm obviously going to change that oil before I even start the engine. I've almost made that mistake before, because that oil could be total goo inside. It's the little slant 6. I'm not sure if it's the small 6 or the big 6 yet. I really don't know. What else can I say? 43,000 miles. Very low mileage. The body is fairly straight. There's some nice patina on it. I really like the patina. There's no dents. A couple trim pieces have some dents, but you know what? I'll get the key and we'll look in the trunk. There have been some mice in here at one time. There's no spare, but it's very solid in here. Oh, there's a mouse nest for sure. Very solid. There's no rust in the trunk. None whatsoever. Some extra pieces. I haven't even looked through this yet. Oh, look, a bike kickstand. Great. A distributor. That's unusual. Huh. So yeah, overall pretty happy with this car. Looking forward to playing around. There's the how to use the jack instructions. There is no jack. It'd be nice to get one with a spare tire too. And it originated from Camrose, Alberta. Something Motor Products. Not sure what that was. Maybe someone could drop a comment if they're from Camrose and they know what dealership that was. I phoned my dad and asked him to come and check something out that I'd bought. The head shake when you drove in said everything. I picked it up today. Original mileage on the odometer. Because look at the seat.
Oh, it's not even worn out?
Yeah. Just
You
dirty.
get extra tools. Huh?
Yeah.
What? 43,000.
Yeah. And it's been sitting. Well, the guy who I bought it from, it was his uncle's that he bought in 97. It was running and driving when he bought it. Parked it. Got it running 10 years ago, but didn't drive it. Just got the engine running.
I've seen these. I remember them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't myself. It was such an unusual, like this front end I don't recognize.
No, I just recognized the size.
Look at the grill. The grill is perfect.
6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can figure out how to open it. There. So I took the master cylinder out to try and get the brake. Yeah. We're not sure if it's the big one or the small one. There's no power steering, no power brakes. Just basic.
Well, it looks like a pretty healthy sized motor. Did you try starting it, John?
No.
No.
We know the gas is bad. Got to drain the
yeah,
tank and all that.
We.
Eric was helping me
Oh,
today.
he's helping you.
Yeah. And I see a sticker
And
here.
local?
In Edmonton.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Right by Jasper Place, actually. Gonna start working the car right away. Like I said, we're already working on the brakes. And then the other thing to do is take the carburetor off. It's seized up, the throttle plates will not turn. So I'm gonna soak that in the ultrasonic cleaner and gotta drain out the fuel tank. I pulled the gas cap off and it didn't smell as bad as some that I've had. So hopefully that won't be a mess. So we're pretty sure that mileage is original. Being the seat and the pedals, there's not much wear on the pedals. They look pretty good. Another funny thing is the heater fan is either off and then it's just low and high. Cigarette lighter, it's been used. Yep. Back in those days, everybody smoked pretty much. So yeah, this is the latest machine. So the next thing I'm going to do is try and get that master cylinder functional. It's full of rust. That's why we put fluid in it, but it wouldn't pump any fluid because it was just plugged up with rust. So we're going to clear that up, put it back in the car, and see if we can get some brake pedal because there's no pedal at all right now. And I need 2 more 13-inch tires that hold air. I have a couple out back. They're not quite the right size, but they are a 13-inch rim size, so I can get the car rolling if need be. And tonight I will take the carburetor off, clean it up, tear it apart, soak it overnight, put it back together tomorrow. Got to pump out all the bad fluid, old gasoline from the gas tank. So we're going to do that, and yeah, so I'm going to get at it. What I'm doing here with the drill is using a small honing tool. It breaks the glaze and removes any impurities in the bore of the master cylinder. It had a lot of rust and pitting, and so this will clean that up and make it like a new surface inside. I would say it took about 10 minutes of work, and I would soak the hone with brake fluid when I did this. And this is the end result, a nicely cleaned up and a nice crosshatch inside. Assembly was straightforward. I kept the pieces in the order that they came out, and I made sure to put brake fluid on all the pieces that needed it and put it back together. Of course. Next, I tackled the carburetor, removing all the lines, linkages, hoses, that kind of thing. And before I disassembled it, I noticed there was a little red tag on the corner. And it turns out this was a brand new carburetor that the previous owner had installed in the 90s, I would guess. And they were pretty expensive back then. And even now they're, $200 to $300. So that was a nice thing to see. Oh my. Oh, that's sticky. It's good. So, kind of dirty. Bit of rust. After full disassembly of the carburetor, I put it in my ultrasonic cleaner and turned on the heat. I like to get it up to about 40 to 50 degrees Celsius and let it run for a 20-minute cycle, and I let it soak all night. And you can see the difference. It's much cleaner. And when I put it together and then put it back on the engine, it looked like brand new. I was really impressed. Next, I thought I would pull the wheels off and check the brakes all the way around. And I was pleasantly surprised. Other than cobwebs and dust, the brakes had new wheel cylinders, new shoes, spring hardware, everything. It looked great. Totally brand new. They machined the drums too.
Oh wow.
Or their new drums.
So they did a good job whenever they're doing it.
Yeah.
Never sure which.
Yeah. And the adjuster's free on this side, so I won't even touch it. The other one was seized up. I had to fix that. Well, I'm just going to throw this side back together. I wanted to pressure wash the engine, so I put the air filter housing together, and the filter that came with the car was still good, so I reused it for now. This was so satisfying, washing away decades of dust, dirt, grime, oil, you name it. It was really nice to get it off and really see what I was working with. I changed the oil and filter. Now take a look at this oil filter that I removed from this engine. Gulf oil. I have not seen one of these filters since probably the 80s, and according to Wikipedia, most of Gulf oil was bought out in the US and Canada by other oil companies. So it may be over 30 years since this car had an oil change. Okay, I have oil in the motor, filter and oil have been changed. Next, I'm going to put a battery in it, turn the key on but not start it and not try and start it. Just see what electrically works and what doesn't, and see if the starter motor will turn it over. And then I'll check for spark. And if we have spark, then I'm going to keep turning it over until the oil pressure light goes out. Then I know I have oil pressure. And then we add fuel and we see if it runs. Okay, I'm about to try this. I got a push button for the starter ready to go. And but before I do this, I'm going to sit in the car and turn the key on. I hooked up the battery. So let's go in the car. All right, moment of truth. Turn on the key. Well, the heater fan works. Just turn that off. How about the wipers? Look at that. Right on. They don't park themselves though. Okay, let's just see if the starter works. Oh, I disconnected that wire. Let me reconnect it. Okay, let's see if the starter works. Oh yeah. I don't have a working oil light though. That's too bad. But, Okay, so you see this light? When that light goes out, that means we got oil pressure. So I'm going to turn it over until we have oil pressure. Apparently the battery I'm using doesn't have much juice in it. And this gas is spilling all over. I'm gonna fix that. Okay, fresh battery. or give this another try. So we want this light to go out, and when it does, we have oil pressure. Oh. That's good. It's taken a while to come back on, but that oil is cold, so it'll take a few seconds probably. Okay, well, I think we're ready to put fuel in this. All right, I've moved over to this side because the carburetor's over here, and I put the starter button over here. I'm gonna take some fuel, and I've hooked this hose up to the air breather on the carburetor, and you can actually fill up the float bowl with fuel from here. The gas tank is plugged, or the gas line is plugged solid, so I can't use the fuel tank. So I put some fuel in the carburetor. We're gonna see if it starts. Put some down here. Okay, moment of truth. Music to my ears. And the exhaust is totally clear. Wow. Wow. Let's try this again. I think it might have run the float bowl dry, but we'll see. Try again. Oops, that was too much. Not. See if my accelerator pump is working. I think so. Yeah, it is. Huh. Not bad, needs some carburetor messing with, but I should be able to get it running a little better, but I'm pretty happy with this. It's quiet, it's not knocking. Oh, this is fantastic. Love it. Okay, I made a small carb adjustment, just richen the fuel mixture another half turn, see what happens. I think it's just running out of fuel, so I got to get it a fuel tank, and then I can probably test drive this car. I think it's just running dry. So I enriched the carb mixture some more, turned it out like 3 turns. I can fix that later. But watch this. It sounds perfect. And the exhaust is absolutely clean, just a bit of water came out. Probably just in the exhaust pipe. This is awesome. Ran out of fuel, so need to hook up a can. Well, this is rather embarrassing. I had a spark plug wire off. It was only running on 5 out of 6. Now it's running on 6. Good. Okay. That's my frame. Well, let's try this. Now it won't start. Shut it off and start it again. Okay, whatever. Not a lot of brake pedal. Okay, here goes first gear. Clutch is real high. But we're moving. And I can kind of stop. Ugh, I can stop, but not very good. I don't know what that rattling noise is. It's driving under its own power. Oh dear. She's going. What is that rattle? Steering is, even though there's no power steering, it's easy to turn the wheel. You know what, I'm gonna try stopping. Oh boy, it doesn't have a lot of stopping power. My door is open. Let's try reverse. Third. How the heck? There, that's reverse. Yeah. Reverse works. First works. Just gonna drive up to the garage. These brakes are not good. I'm just gonna slam on the brakes here and see what happens. So I got front brakes. I think I'm going down the road. Oh, don't put it in first till you're stopped. Runs good. Sounds good. I need some air. Okay. Down the road we go. Little bit of smoke. Second. Third, I have no speedometer. Oh no, the odometer works, but no speedometer. Huh. I have no idea how fast I'm going. Third gear is all right. No power in third. I got a stop sign coming up. And oh, the signal light works now. Yes! At least in here it works. Non-synchro first. Gotta be stopped. All clear. Jump in. I think the power is okay. I mean, it's the smallest 6-cylinder they made. Runs and drives. A little hesitant there off idle. A bit of a hesitation there. First gear, the power is actually pretty good, even in second. Made it around the block. Let's see if I can get it in first gear if I double clutch. Yeah. Spun in the gravel. Made it around the block. Have a look under the hood. I'll just see if it starts. It's great. Okay. All right. Check for leaks. No antifreeze leaking. Even my goofy fuel system is working. Huh. What is rattling? It's like it's got a broken motor mount, but the mount looks fine. This is the temporary fuel tank. It's out of an old snowmobile. So I thought for fun I'd let my son give myself and my nephew a ride in the Valiant.
Oh man, this is different. 3 on a tree. Oh yeah, the steering's actually loose on these things.
Steven's driving. Whoa, stop. I know. Nobody coming. What brakes?
First,
You're in first. Clutch is just tight.
Get different than other vehicle I've driven. It's so weird.
It's all kinds of weird noises.
Runs and drives.
Runs and drives. It needs a good cleanup. No. All right, well, I call that a huge success. I was not expecting to get it to run that well today. So a few hours of playing around and it runs great. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe and we'll see you next time at the Cyclic Garage.